You're an awful man. You get me hung, you know that.
Bring pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more to your seat. Find out more.
Time to join our man at Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. I think he's had enough of Christmas and it hasn't even started yet. Hello, colleague.
Yeah, so I know there are rules for a lot of places about like when you can play Christmas songs, when you can put up the Christmas decoration. I think in the world of cinema, no, and particularly because of the States where they really start, Thanksgiving, Christmas kind of roll into one. So they kind of have that. So yes, we've our first Christmas movie of the year shown on the 6th of November, which just seemed too early for me to watch it, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
Okay.
Like famously, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is actually a Thanksgiving movie, not a Christmas movie, even though everyone thinks of it. Yeah. So
great movie too. Great movie.
Yeah, great movie. And look, we have a couple of great movies this week as well. Will we start with the big one?
Yeah. The kids are going to love this.
Well, you say that in that the kids are going to love this. I am 51 years old, Seamus, and I was so excited to go see this as well because, I think the first two Paddington movies are two of the best movies I've ever seen. Not just saying kids' movies, like genuinely great movies. Obviously, they are lighthearted and fluff and general movies, and it's not The Godfather. But, The Godfather 3 wasn't great, and I think Paddington 3 is superior to The Godfather 3 for exactly that reason. So, here we go. And I'm going to, look, I'll tell you a quick anecdote as by way of a review. I have doing this course to do with work and so on. As part of it, I have to do this sort of life coach thing where there was a bit of a mental health review. And I had to do it at 12:30 today. And to do this Zoom call, I had to stop halfway through Paddington and talk to this very nice woman, right? And eventually, and things were good. But I eventually had to say to her, do you realize I had to stop Paddington 3 to talk to you? And there's nothing, you're very good and you're very professional, but there's nothing you could do to make me feel better than watching Paddington 3 would have done. It is life coach. It is feel good in a jar. Like, this is better. This genuinely happened to me today. And I was trying not to insult her, but I was going, please let me go back to Paddington 3 and my life will be so much better for it. It is just lovely. Paddington is, we're very familiar with him and his family in London, but his Aunt Lucy has gone missing in Peru. So he goes home to Peru and he ends up in a sort of Indiana Jones style stuff. Antonio Banderas is having a great time hamming it up as a riverboat captain, but that is nothing compared to the joy Olivia Colman is having as a singing nun. And there's like there's Sound of Music jokes there. There's several jokes about like mad Werner Herzog movies. There's so many, and you go, what in a children's movie? But that was the thing about it. They're not so much children's movies, they're family movies. They're for all ages. But they don't treat the kids as dumb and they don't treat the adults as dumb. They're just lovely. Now, it's probably not Paddington 2, but that's such a high bar, and I did say to myself, I don't damn it with faint praise and that it's great. It's so much better than most of the fare out there. And like parents, like you're so blessed at the moment. You've got the Wild Robot, which is gorgeous, and this, which is gorgeous, and it's going to be around forever. So loads of time to see it this weekend and up to Christmas. But it is just, you'll just come out wanting to hug your family. That's
all
what
right.
These movies make you do. They make you love everything. And I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
As anybody who's listened to me talk about movies and life here will know kind of what political persuasion. And it's been a tough week. And you know what? I do feel a bit better from having watched Paddington. And if you want to feel better, go and see Paddington in Peru too. It'll exactly what you need. It mightn't be what you think you need, but it is what you need.
Okay. All right. Let's change genre now. The problem with people.
Yeah. Well, speaking of elections,
where do I start?
Where do you start? So, will we play the clip first, Jamie, and then we'll have a little chat about the problem with people, which is brand new tomorrow.
Your father left half of everything to Barry.
Who's to say that my dad wasn't still alive when Barry entered the room?
You need to tell him about the will.
You want to play games with me, pal? Bring it on.
We'll see about that.
Oh, yeah, we will see about that.
Sneaky feckin' bastard.
What's the worst that could happen? This looks really good. Colin
look,
Meaney. Love Colin Meaney.
yeah, it looks like good fun. Paul Reiser, of course, as well, his old hand as a American comedian. But the thing about it is, I think it's almost like they were sitting around and said, "What if you did The Field, but it was funny?" And I
Yes.
think that's kind of the spirit of it. And they're trying to make amends. The family rift. So eventually they leave some land to the American cousins. And of course, Colin Meaney is outraged by this, as families all around the country, who go, who gets it in the will ain't so funny, although it is sometimes. And that's what this is. And of course, the two boys, in this sort of like grumpy old men, start to outdo each other and trying to prove it. And it's a fish out of water movies. Paul Reiser is in Ireland. And like we were discussing earlier, from watching the clips and seeing that they were on the Late Late Show and stuff like that, kind of going, how top of the morning Bigara is it? And I think it's on the right side of, it has a bit of that. And let's face it, if it's going to play well in Ohio, as well as Dublin, as well as Sligo, it has to have a bit of that, but on the right side of things. And it looks, and I know you said you saw an interview with Colin Meaney where you went, anytime it got a bit of a, Grand Soft Day there, Leprechaun, that he kind of went, lads, now that's enough. Not that.
We're not having that.
Yeah, that's enough of that now. And very Irish. And it looks like good fun. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm going to get to watch it tomorrow myself when it opens. Now, it's kind of a limited viewing. It's not shown every day. It's a small release. So make sure you check the website to find out when it's on. It's kind of on the earlier shows. But if it's popular, they'll show it more.
You'll show it more, and it's got no age restriction on it.
No, I think it's 12A. I think it's 12A.
It's a 12A, so it's a kind of a family movie as well, really.
Yeah. And like, even if there is a wee bit of swearing, it's going to be that very Irish Sligo, Leitrim, Donegal swearing that nobody.
Oh, that's Sligo, Leitrim, Donegal swearing.
Yeah. SLD, yeah.
Oh dear,
I was making sure to mention it's coming up to Christmas. I know you have a lot of sponsors and ads. I thought I'd mention everyone, right?
Okay. That's the problem with people, and that opens tomorrow. Is it?
That opens tomorrow.
Okay, that is not a problem. Okay, now here's an interesting one. I thought this was a kids' film, but you tell me it's not a kids' film. But it's piece by piece. It's the story of
Pharrell Williams. Of Happy and the mega producer. So he was approached to make his own movie, and he said, "I want to do it differently." And he's got the people who made the Lego movie and so on to make his life story, and kind of a humorous version of his life story, but actually the facts, and how when he met Prince and all that stuff done in animated Lego pieces. This looks mad. It got really good reviews, and I was surprised. It was coming to the cinema here, but I'm really looking forward to see it. It might be a bit of a curate's egg, good in parts, weird and stuff. But I think for somebody looking for something different, or maybe just someone who's big fan of his music, and like he has been the mega producer for the last 20 years. How many records have you played? They mightn't have said Pharrell Williams on the front of it, but on the back it certainly did. So this is really interesting. Now we also have Red One, slightly less interesting. Now I have to say, I thought this was going to be a stinker when I saw it. And they said they were going to release the reviews on Tuesday night in the middle of the election. I went, that is not a bad sign. And I have to say, it's not that bad at all. It's not that bad at all. Now, it is.
It's got himself Johnson in there.
Yeah, it has got himself Johnson in it. And so basically, Santa has a whole team around him to do his security, do his stuff. And he's well looked after. And all of a sudden, Santa is kidnapped. And they have to go find kidnap him. And Dwayne Johnson is the head of Santa's security, and he has to get the best thief in the world to find Santa. And it's that buddy cop. You're already thinking that movie, and there's a bit of that. The downside, it's such an American thing to do. So they've made it sort of 12A. So there's a few scary bits, a few minor swear words, right? But then the sentimental Christmas side of things is very much aimed at 8-year-olds. And that's the bit that I think is weird. It's not quite. Choose a lane. Go full on family kids Christmas, or go Transformers 12A action movie. Trying to do both, I think, is why people won't be satisfied. I think, though, under 12s, especially those who either like The Rock or just love Christmas, are going to really enjoy it. It's not going to become an Elf and be on every Christmas, but I think it will do till Elf comes along. I think people will really like it. Already loads of birthday parties are going to it. That are 10 or 11, 12. And because people love The Rock, and there's some really good action scenes in it. So it's a funny old thing. But I have to say, I saw the trailer and went, eh. And I have to say, it was much better than I thought it was. Not good, but fine. Perfectly
Okay.
fine, and we'll accept that. Yeah.
Okay, that's the red one, and that opens when?
That opens. That's open right now. Open right,
Right now,
It
that's
previewed
available.
last
Okay.
night. Yeah.
Okay, that's Collier Movies, and that's what's happening up at Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. We will talk to you back here next Thursday, Collie.
Gladiator next week. Bye.
Oh, get me sword out.
And drop.